Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And I wanted to do a little video here to follow up on my WWE Evolution rant that I had about like a month ago when they announced the pay-per-view. So I talked about how I don't think that it was, you know, a real effort to really like bring women into like the current generation and like really start generally making these women feel like they're a real part of the show and the women feeling equal and all that. Because, let's face it, there's only like 2 women segments per show, and that's probably better than 1, I guess. You know, it kind of makes their point a bit more. You know, they always make sure that the women's championship match has, you know, it's not good build, but there's build in there. They concentrate on it and everything. So the thing is, what I would like to know is why they put more effort into building just a regular old championship match, you know, for like any random pay-per-view, say like the Hell in the Cell match with Becky and Charlotte, for example. You know, that the match at Hell in the Cell anyway. Why did they put more effort into that than building up for a big, you know, dream match like Alexa Bliss and Trish Stratus? You know, like, they're making no effort whatsoever to try to, like, make this show, you know, appealing or, like, make it have a big feel to it. Like, I feel like this should be, like, you know, they should treat it like, man, we really got to put this pay-per-view over big time. You know, we got to put all the glitz and glam into it, bring out all the stars from the past, have them interact with the current generation of female stars, but they're not doing that. There's no effort being made at all. They announced 2 matches online. That's all we've gotten so far, right? The pay-per-view's like 2 weeks away or something like that. And, you know, we've had 1 appearance by Trish Stratus, right? You know, then you have Lita and Mickie James scheduled for the pay-per-view. No build-up for that one at all. Lita hasn't even appeared on any WWE programming at all. You know, that match was, like, announced 3 weeks ago or something like that. And, you know, it's just like they go on about the pay-per-view being historic during every single, you know, women's match. They're like, oh, you know, stringing together victories is so important, you know, when you got this pay-per-view on the horizon. You know, Byron Sex Addict talks about it. You know, so why is it? Because it doesn't even look like this pay-per-view even matters. You know, what are the plans for the champions on the show? What is Ronda Rousey going to do on this historic pay-per-view? See, because this is the real story behind all this fucking bullshit surrounding this pay-per-view. It's historic. It's historic. And by the way, it's historic. Have you heard the word on the street that it's fucking historic? Because it's goddamn historic, motherfuckers. I mean, that is the only point that they are driving home repeatedly. It's historic. It's the first time it's ever been done. Okay, TNA's done it before, but hey, it's the first time it happened in WWE, right? So that's all that fucking matters to them. If it didn't happen, you know, in WWE, it didn't happen at all. And I get that. I totally do. People are saying TNA, but this is WWE. This is the only game in town, the only game in town that matters, really. The only one that anyone even knows exists. So, you know, if it didn't happen in WWE, I can kind of see why they say that it didn't happen anywhere else. So WWE is going to put it, you know, into the mainstream and everything. But it's just like Connor's Cure or Susan G. Komen or anything like that. They're just doing it to look good without putting any effort into it at all, right? You know, they're just doing it for the sake of it. This is their business model. How sick is that? That's their business model when they say Connor's Cure is their business model. I didn't even mention that in my Raw review. I talked about how I think it's a lot of phony business. You know, I'm sure a lot of the wrestlers, like I said, you know, they genuinely, like Big Show, like, that's great. Like, Big Show and Daniel Bryan are feeling genuine about it. But you got Stephanie McMahon who's just posing for the pictures to feed her own ego so the WWE can make more money off of that. That's fucking sick. It really is. And the thing is, it's you know, they're doing the same type of concept here with the women's pay-per-view. It's like, what's in the news now, right? Women's rights, right? The Me Too movement. It's all about women. We're not going to take it anymore. Women are going to not be, you know, subservient to men. We're going to, you know, and the thing is, hey, look, I'm all for feminism as long as it's not anti-man. You know, it's, you know, women deserve their rights and everything, and I don't really see nowadays where women's rights are really being taken away that much. You know, we've got women in a lot of positions of power. I mean, you know, I've had many female bosses, you know, through my life. You know, I've had a lot of female bosses. So I'm not really seeing, and they've been in higher up positions even. Not even my direct boss. I've had, you know, bosses far above my direct boss. I mean, so I just don't see it personally. Here in New York City, where I live, I do not see any women being suppressed at all. Now, in the wrestling world, yes, you know, the women are just typically not as good of wrestlers as men, and that's understandable. Because, I'm sorry to say it, I know this might be offensive to some people, but women are not as strong as men. They have a harder time lifting each other up, and so the thing is, different bone structures, it's just biology. I'm sorry to say if you think that's sexist, but it's fucking wrestling, and it is a man's game. I'm sorry to say that, but it's been like that for a long time. And, you know, the most over females in the wrestling business have always been the best looking ones. I'm sorry, but still no one's really ever been able to be as over as Sable or Trish Stratus or Lita. It's just, you know, it's just a fact. You know, I'm sorry about that. Even girls who I think are great, like Charlotte and Becky Lynch, they'll never be at that level. I'm sorry, it's just, you know, that's what people go for. When you have a predominant male audience, what do you expect? So, you know, they're going to keep, you know, trying to put that shit down. The women are not going to be relegated to bra and panties matches and everything. Like, it's such a horrible thing for women that work hard at having great bodies and go to the gym several times a week. You know, it's such a horrible thing for men wanting to admire women's bodies. Now, of course, they're going to try to spin that nowadays and say that, you know, that's objectifying women and shit like that. But, you know, so if that's the case, let's shut down all the fucking, you know, underwear catalogs. Let's shut down Victoria's Secret and all that. You know, it's just, I'll never understand it. You know, we want to talk about body positivity and everything like that. We want to say about, you know, oh, it's wrong when skinny women that are in shape pose in lingerie. You know, that's offensive and everything. But, you know, if you've got, like, a big woman, like, say, Tess Holliday, for example, like, posing in a fucking magazine, oh, that's A-okay. So, you know, if women come in all shapes and sizes, why is it just offensive to have, you know, women that are in shape be in underwear, but women that are, like, massive, you know, and not in shape and, like, damage their body by not eating well and not exercising? Why is that okay? So I'm getting all sick and tired because the messages are all over the fucking place. I don't understand what the core message is supposed to be here. All I'm being told is that this fucking pay-per-view is historic. I shouldn't enjoy bra and panties matches. So if that's the case, edit them all off the fucking network. You know, let's fucking shirk all that shit from history. Bad man for enjoying fucking women in underwear and enjoying, you know, a woman's body and everything. I'm sorry, I should probably reprogram my brain and shit and not like how women look half naked. I'm sorry to say that. I probably, it's like, you know, what am I supposed to be ashamed of being attracted to hot women? I'm supposed to sit there, like, fucking, like, looking at this goddamn pay-per-view. Whoa, this is great wrestling. Like, I'm not sorry, I'm not a brain-dead idiot. I'm not gonna white knight all over the fucking place, and I'm not gonna, we gotta respect them because they're on the same. No! I am sorry to say, but when I watched the past wrestling, yeah, Trish Stratus, she was good in the ring and everything like that, but she was hot. You know, and I liked when Lita, you know, she had her pants sagging, you know, and you could see her thong, and she would take her fucking top off before the moonsault. I'm sorry, but those were the things that were over. Because we're red-blooded males, and that's what we like to see along with our wrestling. It used to be testosterone-fueled. It used to be cool. It used to be exciting. Now it's all about, oh, let's not offend anybody. Let's do everything like how it is in the mainstream and go along with what the mainstream media and mainstream thought and what everyone's writing on their Tumblr. You know what I mean? It's like, let's listen to all these people using the Wi-Fi at Starbucks with their typing out on their laptops. Let's respect women. Oh, like, you know, it's like enough already. I'm not saying don't respect them, but let's be sensible. I mean, what are we supposed to do? You know, we're supposed to, like, trade in? Are women supposed to be the new men and the men are supposed to be the new women? Should we exchange genders or some shit like that? Because it's so offensive. Everything a man does, if he thinks something sexual about a woman, it's like fucking a crime or some shit. Because that's what I'm being told this pay-per-view. The minute I said this pay-per-view is not being built well, and I said that it's bullshit, and it's just another reason for them to say, hey, look how great we are. We respect women. First ever women's pay-per-view. We're not sexist. We apologize for all the times we made women look sexy. We objectified them and shit like that. You know, being all apologetic and shit, because that's the new fad, being apologetic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being true to myself. I'm sorry. You know, it's like it's enough already. I'm so sick of it. Society in general. You know what I mean? It's shining through even in the fucking wrestling. I can't even escape SJWs when it comes to fucking wrestling. For God fucking sakes. I mean, my God, it's like, it's just wrestling. I've said it time and time again. It's not rocket science. Why do we have to have a social commentary in the fucking wrestling? Why can't it just be how it was? Like, fucking, I'm watching on the network. It's fucking awesome. Last episode I was watching is like the fucking Heart Foundation. It's all testosterone fueled at that, you know, 1997 leading up to SummerSlam with Stone Cold and everything. The guys didn't give a shit. They didn't worry about anyone's fucking feelings and all that. I mean, my God, Sonny was there looking hot, and oh my God, it's like, come on. Why can't it be like that? They did it before. Now it's like, oh, we can't do that anymore because times have changed. I mean, I don't get it. You know, why can't they be like Howard Stern? You know, he doesn't care. You know, I mean, how things are. He still, you know, has women appearing there in their underwear and everything. It's like, you know, stop giving in to these, you know, these women that, like, nobody finds attractive or anything, who's saying, oh, we need to stop this nonsense already. Objective, like, enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who thought that the right to censor, which was a gimmick in 2000, it was to parody these types of people? Who knew that mentality would actually take over the whole WWE? Like, the mentality would take over the whole WWE and they'd actually end up censoring themselves. Remember when they were against scantily clad women and that was part of the promos and everything, and they were making fun of people who were saying that stuff and getting offended by it? Now that's their business model. Holy fuck! Isn't that a mind fuck for you? Like, I'm saying, it's like, I realize that. I'm like, you know, Steven Richards and The Good Father, you know, and all that stuff. Like, the right to censor actually became reality. Well, there you go, folks. I mean, this pay-per-view, it's like, forget about all the stuff I just ranted on and how it's like, you know, just they're trying to, like, get in the mainstream and stay. But it's like, you want to say this pay-per-view is historic, but you won't make the effort into making it historic. They made the first ever WrestleMania feel historic. They put all the time into all these other things that they made feel historic because they wanted it to be historic, so they built it properly. They're not even making an effort to make this feel special. It's just all fucking strung together. It's going to be at the last minute they're going to announce all the matches. They only have 2 matches announced. Like I said, Alexa Bliss and Trish Stratus, and Lita and Mickie James. What are all the other women doing on the pay-per-view? How about all the other women from the past? Right? Isn't Beth Phoenix going to be on the show? What is she doing? Ronda Rousey, your Raw Women's Champion. What is she doing on the show? I assume that Charlotte and Becky Lynch are probably going to have another rematch, probably. Maybe some, stipulation or something like that, some gimmick match. But, it hasn't been announced yet. How could something like this, that's so important to them, apparently, and so historic, be built so shittily and not be given the proper care? You tell me, because I don't know. It's their fucking pay-per-view. It's their event on the network. Why do I have to fucking figure it out? There you go, motherfuckers. Please subscribe to this channel if you like what you heard here, if you were entertained and you enjoyed it. For all those people that are, frequently here on this channel, just make sure that you're still subscribed and click the bell so you get all the notifications when I post all my new content. You can check out all my other videos here if you haven't seen them yet. And guys, this has been your YWC champ. I'm fucking mad as hell. And I'm signing out.